Hi guys, welcome or welcome back. My name is Sabine from zennumerostar.com. Today's video is why is it possible, 100% possible, to manifest your SP? This video is inspired by one of my friends' questions. We were talking about manifestation and she was asking me if there were circumstances that were making things difficult to manifest a relationship with an SP. You know, in fairness, I used to ask myself the same question. Can everything you watch on YouTube be true? Do I have what it takes to manifest whoever I want? It was even more difficult for me to believe in manifesting a person because my past was a succession of failure after failure. Back then, I was perceiving myself to be intelligent, but not good at relationships. I was also able to explain to you why I wasn't good at relationships. One of my biggest pitfalls, I guess, was to become a people pleaser. At work I was able to make decisions, and after all, because I was in management, this was expected of me, so not a problem. I felt legitimate to make decisions, and I was self-confident. With men, though, that was completely another story. Whenever I liked someone, I had the impression that I would have to show them what a great girlfriend I would make or I would be, and so I was pleasant, trying to accommodate their lifestyle while at the same time making decisions by initiating conversations about having dinner out or spending a weekend away. I was giving out the desperate and bossy type of energy or vibes, and I wasn't aware of it. It was a whole mess, and I was miserable. I isolated myself. I was not in a good place at all, let me tell you this. I'll be honest with you, I would probably still be that woman if I hadn't been made redundant a few years ago. Back then, this changed my priorities big time. All of a sudden, I had to ensure that I would have money coming to me, whereas before I didn't have to think about it, as my paycheck was regular and was coming to me at no surprise. The minute I shifted my attention to money, I started losing money because I was far too intense about it. Remember, I am the obsessive type, but my love life started to pick up. I was stunned, but I was more or less reproducing the same mistakes after I had caught the attention of a man because I had learned the lesson as in understanding how to manifest an SP, but above all, how to maintain a relationship with an SP. Maybe some of you may relate to part of my old story, but even if you cannot, I reckon that my old story will help you understand what you can also shift in terms of your own energy. Your energy being, again, the sum of your thoughts and the way you feel about them. So now that you know that I'm coming from far, but you already knew it if you've been following me for a while, let me tell you what I've done, which has totally changed the way I now live my life. It took me first to understand and then to practice what I had learned. See, it's not enough to understand. It's not because you understand how to make a cake that you're going to eat that cake if you don't bake it in the first place. Manifesting an SP requires you to know where you stand in the relationship and start living your life as such. Now, what do I mean by that? In a relationship, there is you and there is your SP, right? Well, in your physical reality, absolutely, that's what it looks like. But then, by thinking that way, you are discarding your inner world. Now, in your inner world, it's where you get to make decisions on the outcome of the relationship. It's also where you get to decide who is going to be the SP. It's where you decide what type of relationship you're going to have. When I say this or when I talk to you, most of you, and I used to be one of them, understand that concept, but keep behaving as if it was your physical reality that had to change somehow. So let me repeat that one. Most of you understand that you need to change your inner world, but in reality, You behave as if it was your physical reality that had to change. But what happens is that your physical reality is only like the picture on the painting that has already been painted. Now let's assume that you have ordered a specific painting to an artist you know of. You have ordered the painting of a duck, but you secretly wanted a painting of a house in the mountains. You told the artist that it was okay for him to be imaginative, and so he painted a blue duck on a pond full of frogs. The sky is grey and it looks like it's going to rain. Too bad you wanted the house by the mountains by a sunny day, but never mind. You have already paid the artist anyway, and now the painting is in your living room. You look at it and now you're upset. If you wanted to change something on the painting, assuming that you are a painter yourself, you could improve bits and pieces, but irrespective of your talent, you wouldn't be able to make a house in the mountains out of a duck in the pond. You see what I mean? So you buying the painting of a duck while all along you wanted the house in the mountains doesn't make much sense. Would you agree with that? And yet, when you are not physically with your SP yet, this is because what your energy does is that it contradicts what you want. See, I want you to understand and practice the following. Place your energy only where you're happy about the results. If you want a specific person, stop blaming them. Stop complaining about them. Stop seeing the good in them. After all, why want them if you find them at fault? Next, understand where you stand in your relationship. In a relationship, there is a pull and a push. I know I'm saying this in a very simplistic way, but why make things complicated if they are not complicated, right? So that, having a pull and a push, for me, is just the nature of things. In my world, I used to be the push, while I have always been interested in masculine men, whose energy is also a push energy. In a relationship, there cannot be two people giving out the same push energy, because the masculine energy, which by definition is the push energy, will not appreciate to be pushed as well by the feminine energy. At the same time, the feminine energy will feel exhausted to push to get the masculine energy interested in her. Since I have positioned myself in the pull energy and have let my man be the man, so to speak, my life is much, much, much easier. It is as easy as having my man chasing me around the place for fun. If I were to chase him, it wouldn't be so much fun, you see. And yet our energy is more likely to put them off when we do the chasing, especially if you're after masculine men. Now, I can only share with you my own experience, so I do apologize if you are after a feminine energy. I am more knowledgeable, I believe, around masculine energies. Having said that, what I can tell you is that feminine energies are the other way around. We pull towards us the masculine energy because we position ourselves as being the catch or the prize. Your thoughts need to be in alignment with that simple truth, and your feelings should equally be on board with this notion. As a consequence, calling a guy until he answers because you want to have an explanation doesn't necessarily represent your best strategy, because you're placing him as the catch. Now, I'm not saying that you should let them act disrespectfully and not hold them accountable for their actions, but acting in your physical reality is as pointless as trying to change the duck from the painting. I need you to understand that 100%. You will not reach your ideal destination if you don't manage your control center, and this is not your physical reality. If you want to change your life, your physical reality, manage your inner world. From there, and only there, you can manifest whoever you want. I promise you that. Now, why am I saying that it's 100% possible despite your circumstances? Well, simply because your circumstances belong to your physical reality and are no more than the result of your inner world. So what should you typically be doing? while acting is deciding on what you want. Acting is also following a strategy. If you want a committed relationship, it is about writing another story, especially if you are in a non-committal relationship right now. It's about perceiving yourself as the catch if you are a people pleaser right now. It is also about deciding and making it okay for you to have fun and easy thoughts whenever you think about a person, instead of having inner fights and arguments with them. I know it's easier said than done, especially since your primary brain is not used to changing its program. So you need to reassure it that it is in your best interest to act like so. For this to happen, my trick has been to tell myself that it is okay to feel good and to enjoy life. So I typically would take any opportunity I have to enjoy myself and congratulate myself for accepting to enjoy my life. Do I have everything I desire in my life right now? Well, there are still things I desire to experience, but because I know I will, I'm not bothered. To recap, obviously it's 100% possible to be in the relationship that you want with the person of your choice once you start accepting and practicing the simple truth that you do decide from your thoughts and the way you feel about them. When you decide on the outcome and don't get distracted by anything else in the meantime, when you agree with yourself to let the other person be in the game as the person they ought to be, either the masculine push energy or the feminine pull energy, and this will happen as soon as you relax in the process by enjoying your life as much as you possibly can. As always, I do believe in you. I know you can do it. So on that note, happy manifesting.